getting to my favourite bit now. We're going upstairs to the domain. This is where I have been for many weeks on end, courtesy of Henschel Electrical. So I'm a senior electrician for Henschel Electrical, and I spent most of my time up in here because this is where the tricky stuff goes. Okay. So, once again, a sensor on the ceiling. It's a real long range sensor because it's a long way to the bottom of the stairs. We want to make sure they pick up. Turn on these lovely in-wall lights which beautifully light the staircase, giving you a really nice safe journey up and down the stairs. We've also got our switchable lights, okay, just to, if you want the extra. And we put a little emergency light up there. A little bit of making good needed on that one. So here's the nerve centre. Okay, so this is the plant room. First floor plant room. Beautiful, lovely to have this much space available to us. So I'll take you through what we got. MEV unit over here. These are monsoon units supplied by National Ventilation. So we've got inlets here, we've got an inlet here, we've got our exhaust running all the way up and out through a tile vent. That was a tricky bit of cutting, getting that. It's a fully manufactured bend, fabricated on site, not available from the supplier. Another one there, tricky to get them accurate, looking neat, providing a good seal. This is work in progress. We're going to put a little inlet in here to suck out the air because it gets a little bit warm up in here. We've obviously got all this data equipment. So, TVs. TV amplifier, so we've got a satellite dish on the roof, so a satellite receiver, multi-switch, and then a distribution amplifier which sends out the signal to the various TVs. Okay, so all of our cables were really good. We label everything because we don't want anybody to lose stuff. We go back here and we can say, yeah, that's the study, that's the bedroom 2, we've got the store, the gym, we've got the lounge, we've got all the various rooms in the house. Got some nice flushed in socket outlets to supply power to all these units. We've got here a fibre to the property. So the white and green cable coming in here is fibre optic. That's our power supply, and then this is the output to our BT Home Hub. Okay, so BT Home Hub set up here. So let's focus, it's bloody rubbish on here. That's better. And that then feeds our network switches. So all of the data cable in the house comes back to this cabinet. Okay, so just open up the side panel because it's easier to see what's going on. So here's our big white trunk in. Cables come out at the bottom, they run around into the bottom of the data cabinet. We've fed them all up, wrapped them in this lovely nylon braided sheath to keep them safe, to reduce the strain on them. And all the cables are terminated on these, the back of these panels. These are called patch panels, so it's where you terminate all the cables that go to all the various internet points in the house, all the network points. We have then got switches. Switches are like a big router, okay? So these are 24 port switches. Got a patch panel across the top here, we've got a patch panel here, we've got another one there. And basically, if you want the internet enabled for point A11, you just take a cable and you plug it in and plug it into there, join them together, and that means you've got the internet. Now it does get quite hot in here. You can probably hear we've got ventilation fans on the top to exhaust the hot air. So we've also got CCTV. So this is the NVR unit for monitoring, recording the CCTV pictures. There we go. Oh, look, there's my van. Fantastic. Love it. So we've got great CCTV throughout the site. Okay, we can look at all the various different cameras. Okay, flick through. These are all accessed via web browser as well. gives the owner a great view of the property, and I think everybody would agree that these days CCTV is a far greater deterrent than intruder alarms, which just tend to annoy people. Okay, let's put my panel back on. These data cabinets, fantastic piece of equipment. Now, all of the equipment we've used on this project has been supplied by Yes Electrical. I can prove that because I've got a huge heap of invoices from Yes Electrical for all the equipment that we have had supplied to the job. Yeah, I do keep all my invoices, I'm very sensible. So Yes have been brilliant. The Paul Branch, Craig and Mike at Yes, Tom, Dave have been amazing in getting us all the kit that we need to make sure that this job is run really well. Aha, heating controlled. It's a beautiful piece of pipe work there, absolutely lovely. John Tate and his guys did all the plumbing work here. Boiler installed here. It's a traditional system. It's too much for a combi. So we've got a system boiler, and we've got 4 separate heating and hot water zones operated by these zone valves. Because the pipe work was so pretty, we decided we'd rather than run all the cabling surface, we'll put flush boxes in. Makes for easier replacement of the components, because we can just take off all of these points and then disconnect the component rather than having to remove the cabling all the way back to the wiring centre. Okay, a couple of programmers for all the different zones, underfloor heating, we've got a towel rail zone, we've got hot water, and we've got a circulation pump for the hot water, which is this unit here. So we've got so just having one pipe running out to your hot taps, you will have a ring, a loop, so the hot water is continuously circulating, which means you don't need to run your taps for ages to get hot water. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so there's our hot water heat store, hot water cylinder, got the immersion heater there if you need. Okay, if there's for any reason the boiler's on the blink needs servicing, you can still have your hot water. So, as you can see, there's no wiring centre there. Where's the little Drayton Lifestyle wiring centre? Well, we couldn't really go with that, so we decided to stick a big panel up here, because there's so much cabling. It would just been a bit of a mess, to be honest, trying to get it in a wiring centre. Here we go. Another beautiful panel. All of the wires terminated. Everything is numbered, identified. We're going to replace the sticky tape with some nice pretty labels, just like we had in the other panels. Obviously we've got a schedule, so we can look at those numbers, and identify what cable does what and where it goes. Everything is earthed to the nth degree. We're not messing around with any risks from shock. We have bonded and earthed everything in the property. Distribution. Here is our next distribution board. Hager. We've used Hager. They're a really good quality product. You can rely on their the precision. When you're testing the RCDs, they all trip in the same time, and then there's no big variation. You don't have an awful lot of returns on them. You don't have problems. They operate very nicely. These are all Type A RCDs. Can you zoom in and get that? No, because my bloody phone's rubbish. Okay, yeah, Type A, which means that they're sensitive to DC current fault as well as AC current fault, which is, to be honest, in these days, it's quite important because of the amount of DC equipment we have in our homes. Well, this is the one that's in progress. Lighting panel. Lighting control panel. This controls exterior lighting, interior lighting, and it also gives us a place to joint all the wires from our smoke detectors, because there we go. It's such a big property, rather than running off in one very big loop, we've taken radials out, brought them all back here, and here we've got the entrance hall lighting. We've got a little thermostat again, operating our cooling fan, spinning away there. More hallway lighting, and then we come on to exterior lighting, which is still in progress, not complete yet, not energised. Okay, so all these go to our sub panel down the other end, go to our exterior lighting points. Contactors, so these are all these big electromagnetic switches. One goes to one linking to the photocell, one linking to the PIR, There's our little timer clock, time switch, and a contactor to be fed from the time switch. Soffit lights, bollard lights, the garden lights 1, garden lights 2. This is the garage soffit. Drivers for the LED lights, the in-wall LED lights that we saw downstairs. Oh, a spare contactor. This hopefully will be completed in the next week or so. Oh, we can start looking at getting some of the outside lights on for the customer. Now, labelling. I'm a big fan of labelling. Warning, more than one point of isolation. Because you've got like 4 or 5 circuits in there. You've kind of got to be careful. You're not going to be able to turn it all off at once. Okay, so we know that there's lots of stuff going on in here. And then, pretty much finishes the tour. The only thing left to do is have a quick look back inside the loft.